All right, let's set the scene. You know how it is. You're having one of those super busy days, your inbox is just exploding, and then a really tricky customer email lands. It needs a good, careful reply, and it needs it fast. So naturally, your first thought is to get a little help.
So what do you do? Well, for a lot of us, the instinct is to just copy this entire email. I'm talking name, order number, the whole complaint, and just paste it straight into a public AI tool, right? It just feels like a quick, smart way to get that perfect professional response drafted up in seconds. Sound familiar?
I thought it might. But here's the thing. While it seems totally harmless, this little shortcut is actually a much bigger privacy risk than you might think. It's a habit that can lead you down a pretty dangerous road.
So let's just pause for a second. We get so focused on the awesome answer we want to get back from the AI that we completely forget to think about the information we give it in the first place. What is the tool actually seeing when you paste that whole email in? Well, it sees what we call sensitive information. And honestly, this category is way broader than most people realize. We're not just talking about passwords or credit card numbers. It's any piece of data that can identify a specific person or spill confidential business details. Things like names, emails, and yeah, even the content of a private customer complaint. Let's circle back to that email example. By pasting the whole thing, you've just shared personal identifiers like a name and an email address, specific customer data like an order ID, and the private communication itself. And here's the real kicker. A lot of public AI tools actually learn from the data you feed them. That means your prompt could be stored and maybe even used to train the model, potentially exposing that sensitive info later on. And, this isn't some small hypothetical problem. For a business, this can have huge consequences. We're talking about serious fines under data protection laws like GDPR. You could be breaching client confidentiality. And maybe the worst part, you could lose the trust you've worked so hard to build with your customers. So this really is the crucial insight. Just because a task, like drafting an email, feels routine and everyday, that doesn't magically make the information any less sensitive. And that is the key mindset shift we all need to make when using these tools. Now, the best part about all this is how incredibly simple the fix is. Just look at the screen. On the left, you've got the unsafe prompt, the full copy and paste job. But now look over on the right at the safe version. All we did was swap out the personal details with generic placeholders. The AI still gets all the context it needs to write a great reply, but you haven't exposed a single piece of sensitive data. It's that easy. So how do we make this a habit? Well, it really just comes down to 4 simple steps. First, always try to stick with tools that your organization has already approved. Second, just take a second to strip out any personal identifiers. Third, ask yourself, do I really need to paste the whole thing, or will just the key paragraph do? And finally, always prioritize privacy. A little bit of convenience is never worth the risk. To make this even easier, let's build a quick mental checklist. Just 3 simple questions to ask yourself every single time before you share anything with an AI. Okay, question number 1. Is this content sensitive? Simple yes or no. Does it have names, private details, anything like that? Question 2. Is this the right tool for this information? Am I using a secure, company-approved tool or just some random website I found? And finally, this might be the most important question of all. What's the worst that could happen if this data got out? Seriously, if you just take a moment to think about the potential fallout, it makes the decision to be careful a whole lot easier. You see, it all comes down to this. An AI is an absolutely amazing assistant, but it is not a confidant. It has no sense of discretion. So before you share anything, just ask yourself, who or what are you really trusting with your data?